Coming up next, we got a bunch of Arizona-specific flashcards to help you get through that vocab on the real estate examination. Good luck with your studies, good luck on your exams, and we'll see you on the other side. ADRE. ADRE stands for the Arizona Department of Real Estate, the state agency responsible for licensing and regulating real estate professionals, as well as overseeing the real estate education and development activities in the state of Arizona. ARS Title 32, Chapter 20. Title 32, Chapter 20 outlines the legal framework for real estate practices in Arizona, including licensing requirements, duties of real estate professionals, and disciplinary actions. Disclosure Statements, SPDS. The SPDS stands for the Seller's Property Disclosure, and it's a statement that is required in Arizona to inform buyers about known material facts affecting the property. Material facts. Material facts are any information about a property that could influence a buyer's decision to purchase it or the price that they are willing to pay. This includes issues that affect the property's value, safety, or usability, such as structural problems, zoning changes, environmental hazards, or pending developments nearby. Stigmatized properties. Stigmatized properties may be perceived as undesirable due to events or circumstances that occurred there, which could impact its reputation or appeal. These do not affect the physical condition of the property and may include events such as death, crime, or paranormal activity. Under Arizona law, sellers or agents are not required to disclose if a property is stigmatized, such as if death occurred on site unless directly asked by the buyer. Commissioner's Rules. The Commissioner's Rules contained in the Arizona Administrative Code, Title IV, Chapter 28, are detailed regulations established by the Arizona Department of Real Estate. Dual agency. Dual agency is a situation where a real estate agent or brokerage represents both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction, requiring written consent from both parties. Dual agency is allowed in Arizona, but it is subject to strict limits and disclosure requirements to ensure transparency in the transaction. Subdivision Public Report. The Subdivision Public Report is a disclosure required by Arizona law for developers selling properties in subdivisions, outlining important details about the development. Real Estate Recovery Fund. Real Estate Recovery Fund is a fund administered by the ADRE to compensate consumers harmed by fraudulent actions of licensed Arizona real estate agents or brokers. It is funded through the fees collected from real estate license applicants and renewals, including licensing fees, renewal fees, and court-ordered repayments from licensees when a consumer is compensated due to their actions. Fair Housing Protected Classes. Fair housing protected classes are federal fair housing laws that protect individuals from discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, and familial status. Arizona law expands these protections to include age, particularly under compliance with the Housing for Older Persons Act, or HOPA. Homestead exemption. Homestead exemption is a protection under Arizona law that exempts up to $250,000 of a primary residence's equity from certain creditors, safeguarding homeowners from forced sales. Affidavit of Disclosure. The Affidavit of Disclosure is a document required in Arizona for the sale of properties located in unincorporated areas, disclosing information about utilities, legal access, and zoning. HOA disclosure. HOA disclosure is Arizona law that requires sellers to disclose homeowners association rules, fees, and financial documents to buyers within 10 days of contract acceptance. Active Management Area, AMA. Active Management Area is a designated region in Arizona where groundwater use is regulated to achieve sustainable management goals such as safe yield. Groundwater Management Act, GMA. The Groundwater Management Act is Arizona legislation enacted in 1980 to regulate groundwater use, establishes AMAs, and promote sustainable water practices. Surface Water Permit. Surface water permits are legal authorizations required to impound, divert, or use surface water resources in Arizona. Note to student, due to its arid climate and limited water, Arizona has strict laws concerning water use. Grandfathered water rights. Grandfathered water rights. Arizona grants grandfathered water rights to property owners which are specific to the property and may include irrigation grandfathered rights, or non-irrigation uses, type 1 or type 2 non-irrigation rights. Adverse possession. Adverse possession is a legal principle in Arizona that allows individuals to gain ownership of a property by openly, continuously, and without the owner's permission, occupying it for a statutory period of 10 years. Mechanics lien. A mechanics lien is a legal claim against a property filed by contractors, laborers, or suppliers for unpaid work or materials. In Arizona, it must be filed within 120 days of completing the project. Timeshare regulations. Arizona law mandates that developers provide a public report with detailed information about the timeshare property, including financial arrangements and maintenance fees. Buyers are granted a 7-day cancellation period during which they can rescind the purchase agreement without penalty. Advertising regulations. The Arizona Department of Real Estate imposes strict guidelines on advertising by licensees. It requires all advertisements to clearly identify the brokerage name and avoid misleading statements, including in online and social media marketing. Blind ads. A real estate advertisement that does not clearly identify the responsible person or company. Blind ads are prohibited according to Arizona advertising regulations. Salesperson licensing requirements. To obtain a real estate salesperson's license in Arizona, applicants must be at least 18 years old, complete 90 hours of pre-licensing education, pass the state exam, and submit a background check including fingerprints. Broker license requirements. To become a licensed real estate broker in Arizona, applicants must have at least 3 years of active real estate experience within the past 5 years, complete 90 hours of broker-specific pre-licensing education, pass the state broker exam, and provide a fingerprint clearance card. 6-hour contract course. In Arizona, all real estate licensees must complete a 6-hour contract writing course as part of their pre-licensing education. This course covers the essentials of drafting, understanding, and managing real estate contracts. Continuing education. Continuing education. Arizona real estate licensees must complete 24 hours of continuing education every 2 years to renew their license, with specific categories such as agency law, contract law, and ethics. Broker CE requirements include broker management clinic courses. Inactive status. A real estate license in Arizona can be placed on inactive status if the licensee does not meet continuing education requirements. While inactive, the licensee cannot engage in any real estate activities until the license is reactivated. License law violations. Under Arizona Revised Statutes, ARS Title 32, Chapter 20, real estate licensees can face disciplinary action for misconduct including misrepresentation, fraud, failure to disclose material facts, or practicing without a valid license. Arizona Residential Landlord-Tenant Act. This law outlines the rights and responsibilities of landlords and tenants in Arizona, including aspects of lease agreements, security deposits, maintenance obligations, and eviction procedures. Real estate licensees involved in property management must comply with this act. Agency disclosure requirements. Arizona law requires real estate licensees to disclose their agency relationship in writing to all parties involved in a real estate transaction. This ensures transparency about whether the agent represents the buyer, seller, or both in the form of dual agency. Arizona Constitution, Article 26. This constitutional provision allows licensed real estate brokers and salespersons in Arizona to prepare certain legal documents for property transactions, such as purchase contracts and leases, without needing a licensed attorney. Sheriff sale. Under Arizona foreclosure law, a sheriff sale is a public auction of foreclosed properties. Real estate licensees may assist buyers interested in purchasing at these sales, but must ensure clients are aware of the legal and financial risks. Subdivided versus unsubdivided land. Arizona defines subdivided land as property divided into 6 or more lots for sale, while unsubdivided land includes parcels divided into fewer than 6 lots. Subdivided land requires a public report impacting how these properties are marketed and sold. Lot and block system. The lot and block system is a method of land description commonly used in Arizona for subdivided properties, referencing recorded subdivision plats that outline specific lots and blocks. Title theory. In title theory states, the lender holds legal title to the property until the loan is repaid in full, while the borrower retains equitable title. Arizona is a title theory state. Lien theory. In lien theory states, the borrower holds legal title to the property while the mortgage is in effect, with the lender having a lien as security for the loan. Foreclosure process. Arizona uses a non-judicial foreclosure process for deeds of trust, requiring a notice of default in a trustee's sale to be filed at least 90 days before the sale. Borrowers can reinstate the loan by paying overdue amounts until 5:00 p.m. the day before the sale, but there is no post-sale redemption period. Property taxes. Arizona property taxes are calculated based on the assessed value of a property, which is a percentage of the full cash value. Taxes fund local services such as schools and infrastructure. Tax rates are set by local taxing jurisdictions and are primarily administered at the county level. The Foreign Investment in Real Property Tax Act. The Foreign Investment in Real Estate Property Tax Act is a U.S. law requiring borrowers to withhold 15% of the sales price when purchasing real property from foreign sellers, ensuring that taxes on capital gains are paid to the IRS. The withheld amount acts as a prepayment of the seller's tax liability.
Hey, thanks for studying with us. Now, if these flashcards help you, imagine what our full arsenal of videos can do for you. Practice exams, targeted lessons, and state-specific questions. All of these designed to help you get that license. So subscribe, hit that like button, and join the thousands of successful agents who started right where you are. See you in the next video.